sort of generally speaking. At least something, right?
Mm-hmm. Everyone loves...
Uh-huh.
Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Uh-huh. That's got a Don Quixote in it.
It does! I met him once. I didn't have him help me with the Moorwing fight, which apparently he can do.
Yeah.
But he hasn't helped me with fucking anything. But I met him on Sinner's Road.
We fought some guys in the Citadel together. He's charming. Also, he's just Don Quixote. I mean, he's
just
like
Don Quixote, but he seems like competent, which means that Team Cherry hasn't read Don Quixote.
Yeah, Team Cherry definitely has not read Don Quixote. And this is why I'm giving Silksong a negative review on Steam.
Mm-hmm. First of all, it sounds like a wuxia novel. Second of all,
Team Cherry
William
has
and Ari
not
haven't
run...
read Don Quixote.
I mean, it's complicated. We don't have to get into it. That could be our cold open. We're talking about Silksong. It's hot. It's the hot topic, but also we're talking about Don Quixote, so it's relevant. That can just be our cold open.
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
We're riding along together on the Spanish countryside.
We're on an ass and a horse.
Alright, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. An excerpt from Volume 2, Chapter 33 of Don Quixote de los Soulmates. The Duchess replied, "If Don Quixote be mad, crazy, and cracked, and Sancho Panza their squire knows it, and, notwithstanding, serves and edits podcasts for them, and goes trusting to their empty promises, there can be no doubt she must be still madder and sillier than her master. By God, Signora, said Sancho Panza, but that doubt comes timely. But your grace may say it out, and speak plainly, or as you like. For I know what you say is true, and if I were wise, I should have left my master long ago. But this was my fate. This was my bad luck. I can't help it. I must edit for them. We're from the same Discord server. I've eaten their spoonfuls of oatmeal. I'm fond of them. I'm grateful. They've shown me their wails. And above all, I'm faithful. So it's quite impossible for anything to separate us, except the pickaxe and shovel. And if your highness does not like to give me the bonus episode you promised, God made me without it, and maybe your not giving it to me will be all the better for my conscience. For fool as I am, I know the proverb, to her hurt the ant got wings. Hello, one and all. I am Sancho Panza, and while I may be but a humble squire, though atop a fairly fine and dappled ass, I have heard them say, they make as good bread here as in France, and by night all cats are grey, and a hard case enough his who hasn't broken his fast at 2 p.m, and there's no stomach a hand's breadth bigger than another, and the same can be filled with straw or hay, and the little birds of the field have God for their purveyor and caretaker, and when we quit this world and are put underground, the prince travels by as narrow path as the journeyman, and the Pope's body does not take up more feet of earth than the sacristans. For all that one is higher than the other. But cast your eyes not on simple me, though my ass colt may be very fine, but to my master, who awaits my introduction of them. Be not afraid of their dour appearance, for the proverb is that all that glitters is not gold. But enough of my proverbs, as my master detests them. Let me introduce at last the knight of the sub-appealing countenance, Don Quixote de los Soulmates.
I, Don Quixote, the lord of the soulmates, and I don't remember how the rest of the song goes. There's only one theme in Man of La Mancha. It sounds like this, and you don't need to know anything else about it.
Uh-huh.
Or about me.
Well, you've read it all in the most popular book of our time, uh, Don Quixote de la Mancha, a history recorded by Heed Semet.
Yeah.
Sorry, Don
So
Quixote
it's
Ash. My bad.
yeah, Don Quixote of the Soulmates.
De la Soulmates.
History
Yeah.
recorded by
Uh.
Behir de Samet.
Huh.
Behir, but fuck.
Huh.
There's not a good one for burb,
No.
but you understand the sentiment.
I see you.
Thank you. I just want to be seen.
Hi, everyone.
My sub-appealing countenance and all. I really liked it.
Thanks. That, by the way, to be clear, that block of proverb that starts with "They make as good bread here as in France," to the one about the Pope and the sacristan, that whole block is straight from the book. Actually, it's about 3 proverbs longer.
As with every bonus episode, it's now time for a Soulmates podcast to shame you for not reading classic literature.
Listen, here we go. I'm about to do it. I read Don Quixote last year, about a year ago, which is sort of bizarre. And like, first of all, like, part of this is just circumstantial, because like anything that you read while you're like going through a major surgery is going to have like a strong impression upon you. But I went into Don Quixote expecting it to have a fun guy, because everyone knows Don Quixote and everyone knows that he's a cool guy. But kind of like expecting it to be a sort of boring old novel. This is not true. Don Quixote is really good, and 2, incredibly easy to read. For a book from the 1600s. And it is like, it's just really good. We'll start there. And then I came out of reading Don Quixote and I started to talk to people in my life about Don Quixote, and like saw people around talking about Don Quixote. And I had the sort of horrifying realization that I'm the only one who appreciates Don Quixote. And every adaptation of it is trash. No offense, Man of La Mancha.
Some offense can be given
some
to
offense
Man of La Mancha,
to Man of La Mancha. The thing that people,
I know people enjoy it. It's of its time. It's got its things. It has 1, maybe 2 good songs, and then like all of the songs on the soundtrack are those.
Yeah, well, it's got 2 songs. One of them goes da 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 da. Yeah, one of them is like that, is like a triplet thing, and then one of them goes da 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 da. Dulcinea, I like him. The impossible dream. You know,
it really is.
It's just 2 songs.
To reach the impossible Dulcinea.
But listen, people, I know that you don't want to read an extremely long novel from the 1600s because you're a coward. But let me pitch you on it. It's really, really good. It's very funny. Don Quixote is great. Don't get me wrong. But like, we collectively as humans have failed by becoming so fixated on Don Quixote as the thing about Don Quixote, when there's like so much in the book that is amazing. I love Sancho. It's full of incredible side characters. If you're a woman enjoyer, Don Quixote de la Mancha is for you, because in the way that it's trying to be like a critique of people being obsessed with chivalric romance, all of the women in that book have like insane amounts of like character, like they're characters, in a way that
This
books...
is a way in which Man of La Mancha is not a good adaptation of the book.
And it's just like there's Man of La Mancha is also a bad adaptation because nobody understands Miguel de Cervantes. Miguel de Cervantes wrote Don Quixote because he hates you, because he hates that you like fun books. And so the book is structured such that fun things start to happen, and then he'll interrupt it to give a bullshit, pointless history lesson about a fake guy, or like insert a second book inside his book that's less exciting because he doesn't want you to be so excited. And then in the second volume, he gets so mad at everyone for reading Don Quixote the first volume and not understanding that it's about how books suck. And then he writes a second volume about how everyone in Spain has read Don Quixote and loves Don Quixote, the real guy, and this
his
sucks.
drolleries.
And his drolleries. And it's just like, it's just really good. I don't know how to...
I love metafiction. Metafiction is awesome. Don Quixote is metafiction.
It's so metafiction.
And we'll get to it in the actual episode, which is about Limbus Company, but Limbus Company is also metafiction.
Yeah. Anyway, so because there's no... But everyone's just so focused on, like, Don Quixote the guy, and so I'm left with nobody to talk to about Don Quixote the book, and this is so sad for me, and weep for me.
Dream, the impossible dream.
Anyway, so there's no good adaptations for Don Quixote for us to watch, but I do want to dig into this kind of, like, obsession, this cultural obsession with Don Quixote, and the weird sort of, like, twisting of him over time.
I keep walking into Mexican restaurants that have paintings of Don Quixote on the walls.
That's hilarious.
I don't know why.
And so me and, friend of the podcast, Emma, aka Dulcinema, our lovely lady. Dulcinema. She's given me this letter to take back to my master, and in the letter are 10 images of Don Quixote.
That's awesome.
Anyway, that's my rant. You should read Don Quixote and then send Ash some Tumblr asks talking about Don Quixote so that we can indirectly talk to each other about Don Quixote.
Yeah.
Don't worry about this being annoying. I annoy Ash like at least 5 times a day. Anyway, Don Quixote is really good. It's such a genuinely good book, and it's easy to read. It's like chick lit. It's just a popcorn comedy. The chapters are really short and breezy. It's just really good. Listen.
We're gonna keep talking about how you should read the books from Limbus Company every time we do one of these. It's like, y'all know Moby Dick? You should read that one. Y'all know Don Quixote? You should read that one. You know Wuthering Heights? Don't watch the movies. You should read them. Yeah,
I just became like, I won't say but like nearly obsessed with Don Quixote. As Ash is with Moby Dick in like one read through. It's just like it's just had such an
that's why we're like that.
Impact on, well, it goes both. It's a chicken egg problem. But and it's just like it's really easy to read, and it's also a really impactful and funny book. And I just like it you should read it. But right now, you should look at some fucked images of Don Quixote with us. Some of them are really good. I really like them. This is just...
Are we gonna score them based on how rueful his countenance is?
I have numbers. That's not one
I'm
of
sure
them.
you have numbers.
That's not one of
them. I wanted to make my joke before you preempted it in any way.
I have numbers, and then I have even an additional little mini game for each of them. I'm always making you do mini games nowadays.
You really are always making me do mini games.
I have to keep you sort of enriched to, like, you know, keep you from going too off the rails.
You have to keep me enriched? to throw pumpkins full of meat into my enclosure?
Yeah.
I'm just
Anyway.
happy to look at images. This is Ivy trying to keep me off my phone during recordings. It's like, if you're thinking about a minigame, you will be playing solitaire on your phone.
Yeah. Do you have things to say about Don Quixote?
Oh, it's
Before
awesome.
we start?
I've recently, especially since the release of this company Canto 7, just been thinking a lot about metafiction and how metafiction is good. And there's so much depth to like a good adaptation / interpretation of Don Quixote. If you can like genuinely apprehend the layers of Don Quixote. I don't mean to make it sound scary and intellectual. Ultimately, it's silly. But like, if you can apprehend the layers of Don Quixote, and then like create something out of that with full knowledge of it, instead of doing sort of a basic like everyone recognizes the image. Yeah, everyone recognizes the basic image of like a guy on a shitty horse going towards a windmill. If you can do something deeper than that, then you get into like an additional layer of interpreting a book which is about a genre. Like how do you do like interpreting a very famous and popular story about famous and popular stories, and that shit rules. And so like, you know, if you are among the people who sort of like doesn't quite get what Don Quixote Limbus Company is like about, other than being silly, I think you should read Don Quixote.
Yeah.
And you'll have a good time. You'll enjoy it. You'll be like, oh my god, his drolleries.
He's so fucking droll, bro. Bro, his drolleries.
His drolleries go crazy.
His drolleries go crazy. Yeah, and it's like, I think people have sort of a basic understanding that Don Quixote is, even if they have sort of like weird off interpretations of Don Quixote as being about how like being crazy about being a hero is good, like a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
People sort
famously Don Quixote is about how being Don Quixote is a good idea.
People have a general idea that the concept that Don Quixote, the guy, is like a commentary on a type of guy and a type of story, but what they don't understand is that like Don Quixote, from literally like the author introduction, probably my favorite author introduction I've ever read. It's so funny. It's just him talking about how much his book sucks and saying you don't have to be nice to it, but I'm glad that you have
Sometimes you have a loudish.
When a man has a loutish son, yeah, is like a commentary on like writing books for audiences and what audiences want out of books, and how like this sucks for everyone when it like becomes super genrefied. And this goes so out of control in the second book. The second book is such a but it's super readable. If that sort of like metafiction-y shit sounds difficult, it's really, really, it's a really easy introduction to that stuff. In which the author just sort of tells you about writing the book and about how you're sort of wrong about it in a sort of weird and charming way. I just really like Don Quixote.
I've previously commented that of all of the books that are in Limbus Company, Don Quixote is probably the one that you like need to actually read the text of the least in order to understand it, which I think is still basically true. You should read it anyway because it's good. You can read it like on your commute from to and from work and pick it up and put it down, and it's fun and easy. But if you're not going to read Don Quixote, you should at least like read the Wikipedia page for Don Quixote and go correct some of your assumptions about Don Quixote. Like read the translator's introduction to Don Quixote, you know? It's on fucking Project Gutenberg. You can get it.
It's good and I like it.
It's good and Ivy likes it.
Yeah. And famously, I'm the most correct about art, so...
Mm-hmm. That's why you listen to this podcast.
Anyway, speaking about being correct about art, you ready to look at some images?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you the numbers off the bat, I think. I don't remember what we did for cytology. But I'll give you the numbers off the bat, just so that you can be thinking about them a little bit. We're gonna rate, as with all things, we're gonna rate him on a C, an A, and a K. The first one is... Oh, also, if you're listening to this, all of these I probably won't bother with a Pinterest. We'll probably just put them in a Tumblr post. It'll be in the episode description. It'll be on the Tumblr, which is in the episode description. Just go to the episode description. Look at these images. It's easy. We're gonna be rating them on chivalry. So how knightly does this Don Quixote look? How sort of like an icon of you know. How much does he look like he's from a chivalric romance? We're gonna be rating them on accuracy. How much does he look like Don Quixote? And this is like... Some of the images we're going to look at are very abstract, and I don't want to get the images... I don't want to give the images that are just a very literal, like, literally, like, an illustration for the book, necessarily an advantage. So how accurate is it to Don Quixote? Like, in our hearts, you know? How much is this a Don Quixote-ass Don Quixote in its sort of, like, in its essence? And then... We're going to be rating them on Kinsey. How gay is this Don Quixote?
Yeah.
Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. Please let me copy out of Google Docs.
Please let me copy out of Google Docs.
Oh, fuck. That's not working. Shoot.
And then the whole episode was derailed.
Hi, we're back. I figured it out. Okay, so we're going to be starting with the oldest and going to the newest, so we can sort of track Don Quixote through time.
Don Quixote through the ages.
First of all, this is an illustration by the French illustrator, J.J. Granville, whose full name is extremely long, for the 1848 publication of Don Quixote, which I believe is the one that has the bad translation. Don't quote me on that. And this is Don Quixote battles the wineskins.
Okay.
Your thoughts?
It's first of all, the first thing that struck me was Don Quixote's legs. I don't know why.
They're kind of muscly.
Well, they're very knobbly.
They're very knobbly.
And also, it makes him look like... Sorry, I've been playing... I don't know if you'd know this. Clearly, some people didn't. I've been playing a lot of Hollow Knight Silksong. But it makes him look like Hornet with just his legs sticking out from under his cloak. And they're kind of bendy, like not normal. I'm a huge fan of how his eyes have, like, no distinguishing, like, no pupils whatsoever. Sort of a classic fit of rage. I can't decide if his sword is, like, too good, or if it's supposed to be rusted at the ends and thus shitty.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard to tell just on this sort of, like, this kind of wood block. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like, not that this isn't a very good woodblock, but like the difference between a shadow and a texture is sort of
Mm-hmm.
arbitrary. Um, I could choose to believe that there's some rust bites out of it. The top of the sword is much darker for no
Mm-hmm.
discernible lighting reason.
I've been learning a lot recently about actual courtiers and courtly life around this period, and thus, not to immediately go on a tangent, the discussion of Don Quixote, Alonso Quijana, and his life before, going crazy from reading too many chivalric romances, um, is, I now understand some of, like, and he owns a sword. Um, it's like, yeah, everybody did. If you're a gentleman, if you're a noble gentleman, you own and carry around constantly a sword. That
Yeah,
being said, his sword is shitty, and this one's kind of not shitty. Is
it
Sancho in
it
this picture?
it does kind of look like his sword is drawn like off a model. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sancho is maybe one of the two guys on the right.
probably the front one, but hard to say.
Hard to one of them is probably Sancho, one of them is probably the innkeeper. I remember this.
Mm-hmm.
The mark of why Don Quixote is good is because I remember like every single thing about it, and it's been like a year. I remember like the whole plot of the book, and it's very long. Um, I'm really. There are certain elements of this that they were very sort of like um that do feel like a little bit too nice. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like his it's really funny that he's like rolling around in a nightgown. With his
Mm-hmm.
but his nightgown feels very nice. He feels sort of pretty in this little nightgown.
Mm-hmm.
The sleeves are drawn so nicely. They fall so nicely. Um, I can't tell if his eyes are open and he's staring off to the left, or if his eyes are closed.
I
Um,
think I was assuming his eyes were open and he just has, like, no pupils.
hmm.
But I could be wrong.
I think if they're open, his pupils are like all the way on the left of his eyes, like our left, like he's staring into the wall. Um. Anyway, not really relevant. Um, I think this is a good one to start with because as you might expect, we're gonna hit a lot of images of Don Quixote, which he's a guy in armor on a horse. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I wanted to start with this one, just because it's just sort of a different but certainly very book accurate image of Don Quixote, in which he is fucking around while almost naked. Um, Extremely normal. I do like this image. Again, it's got a lot of like it's got a lot of detail that can really pull your eye. I really like the wine draining from the wineskin, and then like look at
Mm-hmm.
these like ripples across the puddle of wine on the floor. It's nice. It's not my
I
This isn't my
it does
favorite.
look
Go.
it does look to me like you've just come across him in the asylum.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's in a shift gown. He's running around barefoot. Um it's like someone hold him down. How did he get that sword?
Uh-huh. As many images that we've looked at recently chronologically, this is a real sort of like go to bed image. Dad, go to bed.
Dad, go to bed.
Go to bed.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, why are you fighting the wineskins? To go to bed. Go to sleep.
The amount of money that they spend on stuff that Don Quixote destroys in the book is very funny. They don't draw too much attention to it, but they do talk about it, and you can tally the total, and it's very high. Um, they're always breaking stuff, and then Sancho is
Mm-hmm.
like, "Sorry, here's a bunch of money."
Sorry.
Sorry. Anyway, numbers?
Numbers.
Okay,
C
chivalry.
is chivalry. Well, he given his nice sword, relatively nice sword.
Up chivalry, nice sword. Down chivalry, asylum.
Asylum. Down chivalry, barefoot.
Uh-huh.
Up chivalry, he's actively doing a fight at the moment.
He is doing something of a fight, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a
He's
stroke
raised
with
his sword in real, insistence.
Uh-huh.
Down chivalry, there's a puddle of wine on the floor that he's in.
Yeah. Oh, that's gotta be so sticky. Oh, man.
I know.
It's gotta smell and be sticky and, oh, God.
And expensive.
And expensive.
I feel like this is a 3. It's like,
3?
he's doing
Sure.
something very chivalrous, which is to say, having a fight with his sword. But he's doing something insane and weird. Sometimes, some will say, hey, isn't Don Quixote always equally chivalrous and not chivalrous? Because the whole point is he's doing chivalrous shit, but it's stupid. Sometimes he fights people. He accidentally does a good job.
He does sometimes do an actual thing, which is important. And also, again...
Sometimes he just falls on his ass badly without even really trying. There are other extremes.
I like that, though. He is sort of like in perfect balance, chivalrous and not chivalrous.
Mm-hmm.
I really like his face. It's got so many, like, isosceles triangles.
He looks like shit in this image.
He does. Look at his hairline.
His countenance, quite rueful.
Quite rueful. Okay, accuracy. How much does this speak to you as a Don Quixote?
This feels very accurate as a Don Quixote. I think my qualms with it are slightly that his legs are bent like he's Hornet from Hollow Knight. And
he does look like he's about to skitter, yeah.
He is about to skitter. He's about to go spider mode. And maybe this is just like the Don Quixote in my heart. As discussed. I've seen a lot of tall guy, short guy, Sancho and Don Quixotes over the years. Short and fat, tall and thin. The original short and fat, tall and thin. And I feel like this Don Quixote is not quite tall enough to fit that perfect image in my mind. He's just sort of normal sized. But maybe that's because he's Hornet. I don't know. And Hornet is famously kind of little. And so it's like, he's been a little bit shortened. But I don't know if we're gonna get many countenances more rueful than this, so I'm inclined to say it's a 5.
I feel like 5. 5 feels right. I mean, like, I didn't want to give too much advantages to just like illustrations of the book that go in the book. But like he's undoubtedly doing a Don Quixote thing, as in this is a thing that Don Quixote does, and that gives it a strong initial boost.
Yeah, there's gonna be some Don Quixotes from the popular culture that are not doing Don Quixote shit, but this is a scene from the book, so that's points.
Okay, I'm happy with a 5. And then Kinsey.
Now, despite his shift gown, I think he's very well suited to a man of the period. Which is to say, a period about 50 years before he's from. He's really, I don't know how to express this.
You have me on tenterhooks because I have no idea what the fuck you're saying.
I'm just saying that if he was in the French court, everyone would be like, why are you so ugly? That being said, I appreciate you're constantly carrying a sword and trying to have fights. That's pretty decent. The Book of the Courtier is pro what's going on in this image. And being a courtier is not gay. That's my point. Being a courtier is peak masculinity, despite what some will try to tell you.
I mean, he's doing a very masculine thing. He's like, fuck this object, fuck the system. You know. Yeah.
I mean, part of it for me is that it does seem like you've come across your father drunk and sleepwalking at 2 a.m., which is a pretty straight image.
Yeah. Good point.
So I just feel like overall, I don't think anything gay is happening here. I think it might be a 0.
Damn.
If you want to push it up, then you can maybe follow the line of maybe Sancho's finger and be like, is he pointing at his dick?
Hey guys, check out his dick. Hey guys, get over here and look at this dick.
Hey guys.
Well, it's what the Kinsey of the Don Quixote is.
Mm-hmm. Not about the Sancho Kinsey.
Yeah. Sancho's Kinsey, I have very, very complex feelings about the sexuality of several characters. And
I know this.
Don Quixote de la Mancha, except for Rocinante, who is canonically a bisexual horse.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why I cut you off by saying, and I know this. It's because this is only for us. Nobody else.
There's the chapter where Rocinante hits on the pack of mares and then gets beaten half to death. But then also Don Quixote is in a loving long-term relationship with Sancho's donkey Dapple. And so Rocinante, I want to establish this early. Rocinante is canonically bisexual. Just in case you didn't know. Anyway, I think 0 is a bold choice for Kinsey for this, but I respect it.
Thank you.
Next. Okay, great. That's not it. Oh, everything is so in order. Here we go. This image will be familiar to you.
Okay. Oh, hey! It's from the book.
It's from the book. This is by Gustave Doré. Also a woodcut, I believe. And Gustave Doré, this is from the 1863 publication of Don Quixote. Gustave Doré, probably the most famous illustrator of Don Quixote. Really, really high detailed, high quality, really compelling illustrations of Don Quixote. If you own a book of Don Quixote that has illustrations, the illustrations are probably these by Gustave Doré. And this is the image this is the image that is at the cover of the book of the translation that both of us have read. And so this is just kind of like what Don Quixote looks like to me. I
have qualms with this one off the bat.
Uh-huh.
It's very beautiful. Let me not, disparage the work of Gustave Doré. But he does have a whole jousting lance, like he's Don Quixote from Limbus Company. And so that's point down.
He is
not what Don Quixote has.
No, he has half a lance and then half of it is a tree branch.
Half of it is a wooden branch.
This even happens in the first 20% of Don Quixote, which is the only part of Don Quixote that anyone's actually read.
Yeah, it's the part with the windmills.
It's the part with the windmill. You know the one.
You know the one. He gets his branch lance.
Uh-huh.
Also, this Rocinante looks, I respect the amount of boniness there, but I feel this is within spec for, like, a normal horse.
Yeah, the chest protrusion is, like, insane. I don't know enough about the horses, the bones of horses, which is also the name of my new metal album.
The bones of horses are big right now.
I don't know much about the bones of horses, but whatever this chest bone is that's protruding like an iron spike out of a chariot, is sick. But it is kind of, the thing that I sort of both like and find off about this Rocinante, who is, like, illustrated beautifully. Look at those look at those legs, look at those joints. Is that, like, and I get what they're doing, which is that, like, Sancho is, like, sad and small, and his donkey is sad and small, and then Don Quixote is big and happy, and his horse is big and happy. But this Rocinante is, like, so chipper. He's so happy to be here. He's trotting along. He's got his head held high. He's, like, mid-whinny. Like, damn, bro is chilling. He's hanging out.
It's just sort of not how it is. I just, like, don't respect the degree to which Don Quixote looks like kind of a real knight in this image.
He is, like, in full plate, which I don't think is book accurate.
No. He has, like, some armor, but it's shitty armor.
In fairness, and I think this genuinely might just be like, made for the cover image. The idea here might be that, like, Don Quixote is like Don Quixote from his own fantasy, in which he has a functioning helmet, and a good horse and full armor. But, like, that's like an extra step of interpretation. I do.
Now, Sancho looks great.
Sancho does look great.
Sancho's facial expression, and also Don Quixote's,
I do like Don
awesome.
Quixote's, like, pose and expression. I love the hand. The hand on the heart is really good.
I, Don Quixote, the Lord of La Mancha.
But the thing I like about Sancho is who, as a man, despite his many problems, is famously chillin'. Is that he's chillin'. He's not, like, leaning forward. He's not drooping forward sadly like his donkey. One, he's genuinely paying attention, which he does. But two, he's leaning back. He's just chilling. He's just chilling against, like, his saddle pack, which is really cute. He's just kind of like sitting and eating chips in a lecture, you know?
He's looking at Don Quixote like, what? What?
Huh? But he's trying. He's trying to figure it out. It's a really pretty image, though.
It's gorgeous. It's very beautiful. It's just got its issues.
Numbers?
Numbers. Chivalry.
Okay, chivalry. I mean, this has to, for all of the reasons, not that chivalry and Don Quixote and accuracy are necessarily at odds, but for many of the reasons that this doesn't look like Don Quixote, it is very chivalrous. Rocinante alone is very chivalrous here.
This I think is an easy 6 chivalry image.
Yeah? Damn.
I mean, listen, he's a wandering knight.
He's got
out
a full lance.
To do some good.
Yeah.
He's got full plate and a whole lance. And a horse that's, like, pretty okay, but might have some issues.
And,
like, what good horse doesn't?
Checked out. something something Uma Musume joke.
Exactly.
Exactly. We're so current in this episode.
We're very current. Listen, you should be able to date any one of our episodes without checking your podcast app of choice to see when it was released. How many things can I name that are current? Silk Song, Uma Musume.
You mean date, like assign a time period to.
You should also be able to date any of our episodes without looking at your podcast app of choice.
This is our new
I don't know how that one works.
This is our new tie-in text visual novel. Date every episode, in which you get to date every episode of Soulmates.
Thank you. I was hoping that you would get there.
Accuracy.
Accuracy is.
It's tough because this is the Don Quixote that's on the book.
It's the Don Quixote that's on the cover, and we're just talking about the Don Quixote, not the entire image. Accuracy of the Don Quixote.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I would give it points for Sancho.
No. Shit! I forgot the secondary minigame. Okay, we'll go back after we give the numbers to this.
Okay. But I feel like accuracy is like, ugh. I really like the face here. I feel like it is easy to fuck up the really, like, you know, harrowing, rueful Don Quixote face. And so I'm tempted to give it points for that. I think
agree.
at most it's a 2.
I think the face and the pose is, like, really strong. I think if you showed this image to someone with no context, they'd be like, that's kind of a Don Quixote. Because most people don't know necessarily that Don Quixote is supposed to be in shitty armor, but they do know that he's supposed to emote like this. I think I'm mostly letting you lead on numbers just because I'm your little host, but and of course it's your podcast and you're the master.
It's my podcast, yeah.
I think a 2 is strong, more than incidentally Don Quixote, but mostly this is just a picture of a knight. And then Kinsey. There's 2 men in this image. I mean, there's 2 men in the last image, but they're looking at each other.
There's 2 men in this image. And honestly, in this case, in the previous case, I think Don Quixote is behaving as befits a courtly man of 50 years before his time. In this case, I think that you would have to razz him a little bit for sort of peacocking around being a wandering knight. So the Kinsey is higher than 0. I think for the, like, and this is true of just Don Quixote as a concept, to go wandering around with Sancho Panza, you know, sort of gallivanting about the land. That this is like maybe a 3. Maybe a queer Don Quixote, if not a homosexual Don Quixote.
I was gonna say 2, but I respect a 3. I was gonna say 2 because it's sort of got the, and like I'm not sure if like an explicitly homosexual thing is happening here, but it's definitely got the energy of like, listen, there's 2 men alone in the woods, and anything could happen.
Wait, but a 2 is more straight.
Yes, that's my point. Is that they're not explicitly queer, but like more than incidentally, anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
But it's your final call.
I think it's a 3.
All right, 3 it is. What was that? 6?
Let it be so.
2, 3. Okay, sorry, my little minigame. Earlier today, Dulcinema, who again helped me pick these images, thank you, I've been very tired, messaged me and was like, maybe you should look at some images of Sancho too, because, you know, et cetera. And I was like, I don't want to do that, because we already have enough images. And I want to sort of talk about sort of the icon of Don Quixote. But I do want to get a little bit of Sancho in there. He's important to me. And so I'd like us to really quickly come up with a little Sancho proverb for every image, um,
Mmm.
which have a very particular sort of rhythm to them that you have to sort of understand intuitively, but we'll get there. Um, I have to start us off for this first image. I have a going back to the JJ Granville one. I have a template that you can fill
Mm-hmm.
out, and then we can sort of get more open from there. This image, I think our proverb should be the wineskin is the enemy of the blank and the friend of the blank.
Mmm. I see. Okay. I need to ruminate on this a little bit. Um,
I have like an easy.
it's difficult to come up with a good proverb.
Uh huh. It doesn't have to be a good proverb.
Uh-huh. It has to be a good in the sense that it's kind of a shitty proverb. It has to be like a Sancho proverb.
Yeah. My instinct is just like sort of in broad strokes, sort of sort of like the wineskin is the enemy of the saint and the friend of the sinner, but like
Mm-hmm.
something more specific would be nice.
Mm-hmm. I want to do something about how he's stepping in horrible sticky wine.
um yeah, to spill the wine might mean you step in it. So like to
Hmm.
be wasteful means that it might come back to bite you later.
I like that one a lot. To spill the
Just
wine might mean that you step in it.
uh-huh. Great. And then proverb for the Gustave Doré.
Proverb for the Gustave Doré. Something about like Don Quixote is very notably in the lightest part of this image,
Uh-huh.
where just sort of the sun is coming up between twixt the mountains, um,
Of the Sierra Madre.
of the Sierra Madre. He has to perform his labors and his penance.
Uh-huh.
Um, so like everywhere the sun shines will be your kingdom, like in Lion King.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Um the I want it to be like, you know.
and then there was a bunch of dead air because I
Yeah,
couldn't
I
think of
sorry.
anything.
I did a bad job with this with coming up with this activity. I want it to be something like, to learn a lesson is something like the break of dawn, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um to the
A master's wisdom is imparted like the break of dawn.
imparts I think the phrasing would be the master's wisdom imparts like the break of dawn.
Imparts like the break of dawn.
There we go. There we go. All
That's
right, you
what I
ready for
got
the
for
next
you.
one?
Next.
Are you ready for a massive style swing within 3 years? Sorry. Nope, 5 years. Um
5 years.
this is one of the most famous paintings of Don Quixote ever. Um by Honore Daumier. Um Now if you look up Honore Daumier, Don Quixote, you'll find this painting, but you also find a million other Don Quixotes. Late in his life, Honore Daumier painted like a billion paintings of Don Quixote and Sancho.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of became his little obsession, and this is his most famous and also like one of his most finished of them.
Hey,
Um,
this whips.
it is very striking. I will say this image starts a trend that I would have to double check, but that I think might be wrong, which is Don Quixote on a white horse. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I people do this because they want Don Quixote to be on the pale horse of death. right?
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that Rocinante is canonically just brown.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so this this kind of pisses me off.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't piss me off. I'm just like, people have to edit this detail to like get this sort of like pale horse of death thing in here, or whatever they're trying to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I just find it so odd that it's become such a thing. Um, you talk while I search for evidence that I'm correct.
I was also looking for this, but I couldn't find any. Just
No, I have
just real
the
quick
book
search.
open.
I was looking on the interwebs. Yeah, there's rules. I am like, the white horse of death, etc., and I understand this. But this Rocinante is like so sad. This is a very bony, shitty horse. I love the dark black eyes that seem to drip down, and the like bright white highlights on dark shadows, looking like it's already a skeleton. Like this is great. I love that, like, there's an implied figure of maybe Sancho in the background. Probably Sancho also seems to be someone on some kind of steed, but not, pretty far behind, which is about accurate. Thing that people don't know about Don Quixote is how often Don Quixote is just terrible to Sancho, like everybody else.
Uh-huh.
He's like, stop, you're not talking to me like a squire would his master. Shut up. I'm inclined to give them a little bit more grace on this one and the lance. Because I don't know if this is intentional, but it does seem like the lance bends and becomes shittier at some part of it.
The lance is also a ghost. This lance
It
is the
is.
weapon that you get in Dark Souls 1 that lets you kill ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
It's transparent against the background. Um, in general, he's kind of like a ghostly figure. He's like a
He is.
faceless specter.
I'm
Um,
annoyed by his conspicuous lack of helmet.
yeah, because his helmet that's the barber thing
Mm-hmm. The
is
golden
like,
helm of Membrino.
yeah, the golden helmet Membrino is like kind of iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do, yeah. I also, he just like, you know, his lack of features to me, um, is kind of interesting in the way that Don Quixote, and other Don Quixote paintings by Honoré Daumier like do sometimes have more character. But it's interesting in conveying that he's this kind of sort of like more like, he's sort of trying to be this like object of knighthood rather than like a person, in sort of an interesting way. But this also doesn't really like convey much about him. And just like the Gustave Doré, he does kind of just look like he's in armor.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it's a very like impressionistic style. But like, that's the impression it's giving me, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I
like, look at this full metal shield that he has.
He does
That's
have a full
gleaming
metal
in the
shield,
sun.
which is, a lot. I
He's got
agree. I think
pauldrons.
the facelessness, while it conveys pretty well that this is like a typified figure, does fail to like fully convey that it's Don Quixote. You need a certain level of like, general cultural knowledge, mostly of his horse, to get there in this case.
I do agree with you. It is a banger Rocinante. The way to me that it looks like Rocinante, is the fact that it looks very slow.
Mm-hmm.
This horse does not look like it could run. Yeah, no. It's just kind of awkwardly sort of ambling along.
Mm-hmm. I keep waiting for us to see an image that has like a especially good dapple in it. Not that the previous one didn't have a great dapple, but I have specifically the detail in my mind that dapple carries all the saddlebags, and there's no saddlebags in the previous image. This is anyway. My highly specific things.
I didn't mention, somehow I didn't mention Dapple. People don't know about Dapple, and this is so sad. Sancho, especially in Volume 2, is obsessed with his ass. That is to say, his donkey. Who they steal from a guy, who they steal from the barber, actually.
Yeah.
And is just the most beautiful ass in all of Spain, and he just will not shut up about, and he like goes into places and is like, I need someone specifically on taking care of my donkey.
Yeah, like I know that
else.
we have the knight's great stallion or whatever, but I have this ass. Hashtag my ass.
Anyway, back to Honore Daumier. I will say that the pose is very Don Quixote, specifically the pose of his legs. He's sort of sticking his legs out in a really silly way. They're not even in the stirrups. You can see the stirrups behind his legs. And this is a thing they talk about in the book, how he sort of balances on Rocinante.
Impressive in its own right.
Yeah, instead of like really sitting up properly. This is a big inspiration for the knight from Through the Looking Glass is obviously Don Quixote, but the specific fact that the knight from Through the Looking Glass falls off his horse all the time, I think is from this specific fact of Don Quixote. Is he just like is shit at sitting on a horse? And so that gets points for me. That's really funny. The pose is really funny. And the pose is kind of excited in nice contrast to the sort of awkward languidness of the horse. Anyway, I like this image. This image just like fundamentally has just really nice blocks of color.
Yeah, it's good.
There's just blue into brown into this like yellow path. Is just like, it's just really nice to look at. It's got sort of simple but pleasing textures all over the place.
Numbers. Chivalry.
I think he's sort of visibly sort of a shitty knight.
He is. He's a much more visibly shitty knight in this one. He's wandering around the fucking the dry lands on his shitty horse. It's, he's raising his lance as though there are enemies to fight, but there's nothing there. Which is like, I think it's probably, it's not sub-chivalrous, it's probably super chivalrous, but maybe like a 4?
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, he's still in plate, he's got a proper shield. Okay. Accuracy. How much is this a Don Quixote? I actually talked myself more into liking this as a Don Quixote the more I talked about it.
Well, the problem is that we're just talking about Don Quixote and not Rocinante. If we were taking Rocinante into account, then this would be like a perfect Don Quixote. But instead, this is like Slender Man. Which, while I, of course, appreciate the artistic vision, don't get me wrong, is not a great place to start insofar as, like, accuracy of the image, if he is, like, sort of a faceless figure. So... 3?
Fair enough.
Equally accurate and inaccurate?
Keep an eye out, by the way, for our Tumblr, where we're about to link our new Slenderman mod. Where when Slenderman approaches you, instead of hearing static, you hear, I, Don Quixote, am man of La Mancha.
I ride on my horse and I don't have a face. Do you like that one? Thank you.
Great. Kinsey.
Kinsey's skill number for this one is X.
He's Slenderman.
He's Slenderman. I have no other comments to make.
He only likes videotapes.
He only wants you to find his pages.
Yeah, he only wants you to find his pages. And that's the extent of his interests.
Yeah.
Great. And, proverb.
Proverb.
It's gotta be something about the horse, because the horse is so
something,
striking.
Yeah. The horse, the white horse, the desert.
A white horse, a slow horse.
Mm-hmm. It takes more care to ride a slow horse than a fast one.
Ooh, I like it. I like that. It takes more care to ride a slow horse than a fast one. So true, honestly.
Than a quick one.
Than a quick one. Yeah. It takes more care to keep this in mind, people. It'll help you in your life.
It takes more care to ride a slow horse than a quick one. This is just like in Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Wow. Shut up.
Does anybody know about this?
I'm sending you the next image, dumbass.
Okay.
This image, that's scrolling too far up in my conversations with Emma. There we go.
No cinema.
No cinema.
A significant part of this episode will just be me singing like 2 phrases from Man of La Mancha.
From Man of La Mancha. This is a poster for the Don Quixote opera, from 1910 by Jorge Rochegros. Am I saying that right? Which, as you can see, is for the Paris Opera House.
I also can't see it.
What? Didn't I send it to you?
You did send it to me, but it's not loading.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
The Théâtre Lyrique Municipal, Gaieté.
Théâtre Lyrique, Gaieté. Don Quixote. Immediately, I had to include this one, because, this is just a beautiful fucking painting, honestly, TBH. It's just a really,
américaine, d'après le Lorraine, musique de G. Massenet.
Look at that sky. Look at that. There's clouds of pink and gold rising over, like, the deep blue mountains of the Sierra Madre.
This is quite a good Rocinante as well.
But then also, look at little tiny Dulcinea.
I know, it's freaking me out. Why does she have a ukulele?
They give her like a guitar. It's too long to be a ukulele, but it is kind of small for a guitar.
She's ready to play Spanish guitar for the battle themes.
Yeah. I just like I have very mixed feelings on this Don Quixote. One, they've gone in sort of the other direction, and he's not wearing any armor at all, which is also
instead
wrong.
He's just like a revolutionary.
Instead, he's just like a French gentry from the early 1900s. But like, and so that's weird. You're right that this Rocinante has so much energy. This Rocinante looks like how do I can't think of how to explain this other than to say that he's sort of like giving a facial expression of like a 90s TV Jewish comedian, you know? He's giving you a like get a load of this guy kind of thing. And then the bass is gonna hit.
I like his lack of a mane.
I know,
just
that's
like
really
stringy
good.
little hairs.
Yeah.
It's like fucking this guy. It's like, he's not a terribly scrawny horse, but he does look extremely poorly taken care of.
Uh-huh. I also, again, this is just a really pretty image. I sort of respect, this image for, like, the fact that the light is falling on, like, literally everything except Don Quixote. Like, it's daybreak, and, like, you can see the light creeping across the mountains. Again, just a really pretty image. You can see the light creeping across the mountains, and the light is falling onto Sancho, who's sort of, like, looking at it suspiciously. But Don Quixote is still sort of shrouded in darkness. Which I think is just like a fun compositional choice. And then little Dulcinea in the corner, hanging out with her guitar.
Little Dulcinea. Why is she surrounded by the clouds that make up half of the Canto 8 map?
I don't know, but she's about to play Wonderwall for you. Hey guys, I just learned this song. It's called Wonderwall.
It is, like, extremely obviously inspired by that cover art. It's just sort of like the precise same kind of composition with the sun rising between the mountains of the Sierra Madre, Don Quixote and Sancho striding through.
Yeah. It's like, it's a different image, but you're right.
It's a different image, but it is extremely obviously, like, that's the composition.
It's the Gustave Doré. You know Gustave Doré. Which is fine, IMO.
That's like, fine. It just amuses me.
Uh-huh.
I, like, points off again for having a complete lance. Will anybody understand the part of the windmill scene that's not just about the windmills? It's about how he breaks his fucking sword.
He also has his lance, like, in his little lance holder.
I know. Like, what the fuck?
Like, lugging it around.
His shoes are also in the stirrups, points off.
Yeah.
This is an okay Sancho, although you can't see that much of him.
Yeah, he's fine. I like his little
barely
hat.
See any dapple. My dapple.
Dapple does appear to have, like, a sort of Susie from Delta Faroon ass fringe. Dapple has, like, a...
Yeah.
That's just, like, an incredible, like emo cut fringe.
Mm-hmm. I have to take points off of this poster for even having a picture of Dulcinea on it, even if it's obviously in a sort of a dream realm. It's like, wow, it's Dulcinea, and it's like, you understand that she never appears and isn't real.
I'm like, because this is for a real opera that's about to happen. So I'm like, does a real Dulcinea come on stage and play the guitar? Probably, because they put it on the poster. Anyway, I still really like this sunset. Look at those clouds. It
is lovely.
They're all the layers and the different types. It's just nice.
The outfit just keeps making me think that it's like a crossover with Les Miserables.
I, Don Quixote, will execute the king.
I, Don Quixote, am hiding from Javert. I, Don Quixote, something barricade.
Uh-huh. Numbers?
I watched an amateur production of Les Miserables when I was in junior high, and that's the only thing I know about Les Miserables. Chivalry.
Mm-hmm.
This one's high chivalry.
I mean,
he's not even really doing a shitty job, and he is in the French Revolution.
To my eyes, the thing that, if anything, knocks off chivalry, is just that he's, like, a bit too modern. Like, he just doesn't look like a knight. He just looks like a guy from 1910s Paris.
Yeah, he's not 50 years before his time, which means that he can't be chivalrous. He can't be chivalric. He can be chivalrous, but he can't be chivalric.
Yeah. But he's still doing chivalric things indisputably.
This is a 5.
I agree. I was going for 5.
Accuracy. Now, he is from the French Revolution. He is going to sing I Jean Valjean.
Instead of I Don Quixote.
Yes. So that's points off. He does have an extremely rueful countenance. Look at that shit. You can't even see his eyes.
Yeah.
He's so sunken. I think the rest of his body looks a little bit too normal for my taste, partially because he's dressed like he's in the French Revolution.
He's a little, I mean, he's not, but he's like got some, he's a little chubby, just the littlest bit. Look at those punchy little thighs.
And it's like, fascinating. So, like, the accuracy is pretty low. Not none. But, like, maybe a 2. Given the accuracy of the countenance.
Yeah. He's got the energy to some degree. But I support it too. And then Kinsey.
Kinsey scale number. Now, combining Don Quixote, in which 2 men go gallivanting around the Sierra Madre, and Les Miserables, gets you sort of like a step up, on the Kinsey scale at least.
I do feel like, you know, and I mean, this is modern tastes. But this particular outfit with the tights and the big peacock feather in the hair is like, hey girl. Hey girl.
I think this is a step up from bisexual Don Quixote, the book cover, to slightly homosexual Don Quixote, a 4.
That's not what a 4 means, but yes.
Yeah. More than incidentally heterosexual, but primarily homosexual Don Quixote.
I think that we should maybe break here. We have 6 more to go, but like we did talk a lot at the beginning, and also I need to eat food, and also we're about to skip ahead like 50 years into the mid 1900s.
Great, but we do have to do a proverb.
We do have to do a proverb. Yes, sorry, I'm forgetting my own thing because I'm a little hungry. We have to do a proverb.
This opera is 5 acts.
Wait, it is? Where does it say that? Are you looking it up?
No, it's on the
comedy,
poster.
all 5 acts. Damn.
That's crazy.
Well, that's crazy. Maybe this opera from 1910 is secretly the perfect Don Quixote adaptation. Now, like, we've already done a proverb about the sunrise, so I kind of want to focus on Dulcinea playing her guitar for babies.
I was gonna go with something about it being 5 acts.
I mean, a nonsense one popped into my head, but I don't know what it means. Which is the lady might play her guitar by the end of the 5th act. But I don't know what that means.
I really like it, though. The lady may play her guitar by the end of the 5th act. By the close of the 5th act.
Uh-huh. You know how it is, people. You know how it is.
The lady
in life.
may play her guitar by the close of the 5th act.
That's so true, honestly. That's really how life is.
Keep this in mind, people.
Keep this in mind, people.
If you were thinking about maybe stopping this podcast after the break, remember, the lady may play her guitar by the close of the 5th act.
By the close of the 5th act. So, stay tuned.
Me ruining the proverb by giving it an extremely direct and obvious meaning.
I, Don Quixote, the Lord of La Mancha. My destiny calls and I go. And the wild winds of fortune will carry me onward, whithersoever they blow.
I'm sobbing.
I've just been thinking about this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It was really an impactful piece of fiction.
Cogwork dancers.
I'm sobbing. I can't believe
Don Quixote am sobbing.
I can't believe we've gone this whole episode and we still haven't had an argument live on air about the pronunciation of Quixotic.
I don't want to.
Oh, okay, well then we should.
It's quixotic. Quixotic is incorrect.
Yeah, but I like it better.
It sounds worse. It's not more accurate if it's not actually how the word.
I Don Quixote.
I Don Quixote.
A man of La Mancha.
I look at the words and I pronounce them wrong.
Yeah. Hi, welcome back.
Hi, welcome back.
That was not. You did not get the syllables in there.
I did.
I know what you were trying to do, but you didn't get them in there. Okay, ready for the next image?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there have been many movie adaptations of Don Quixote. And this is from extremely random fact. The first adaptation of Don Quixote to be shot in widescreen and color.
Okay.
The 1957 Soviet-Russian film Don Quixote. This is one of the posters for it.
Oh my god!
By Russian painter Vladimir Konakov.
Holy shit!
It's an impactful image.
I am a big fan already.
I like this one a lot.
I mean, first of all, he has a sword and a lance.
He has a sword,
which is accurate,
and a lance. His lance might just be a stick. It is very long and straight.
His lance is just a stick.
His arms are so much skinnier than I thought they were at first glance. He's not wearing full plate. He's just got the chest piece and some stuff on his leg.
He's got a bandaged head wound, which I will accept in lieu of a helmet.
He's got a. Look at how hard they tried. Look at how hard poor Vladimir tried to make this shield look especially shitty. It's got like a cartoon lightning bolt crack in it. This Sancho is also really compelling to me. He's just like he's become such a caricature. It also kind of looks like he has tusks, even though that's just lighting. He kind of looks like an orc from a fantasy thing.
He does. I thought that he was being pursued by beasts. But no, that's Sancho Panza. It's not an orc.
Yeah, you know the famous part of Don Quixote where he's pursued by orcs.
He's pursued by creatures from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. Yes.
Uh-huh. If Don Quixote had to bring the ring to Mount Doom, do you think he would make it?
No.
No.
Don Quixote could not bring... His ass could not bring the ring to Mount Doom.
His ass could not bring the ring to Mount Doom. Damn.
New binary, not on a 0 to 6 scale judgment for soulmates images. Could they bring the ring to Mount Doom?
Uh-huh. Anyway, I
No.
love this image. One, it's just like it's such a good and sort of iconically styled piece of like mid-century Soviet Russian art, right? Like the bold colors and the big shapes and the just like strong imagery, combined with like an extremely genuinely soft and pleasing. This one gets points off for Rocinante because Rocinante's face
looks
is just
really
so
good.
nice. Rocinante looks so pleasant. But the bright orange, it's so eye-catching. It's so good. I love his face. I love all his
It's
stupid
a really
garbage.
good image.
I love this image so much.
I'm big into it.
Yeah,
I'm big into this Don Quixote.
Yeah, and it does a really good job of like having the armor, but like counter positioning it with the head wound. Good. I'm very fond of this image. It's so difficult to at this time in my life. I love this sort of like shape of white behind him. It's hard not to look at him and think that he's stuck in the spider webs, and I have to free him with Silk Spear. However, that's a me problem. It's a good art.
Ivy getting me to tune back in by saying silk spear. I was like, what? In the web?
Do you have more thoughts?
No, I just think it rules.
I just think it rules. The like harsh shading. His countenance is so fucking rueful.
This countenance is very rueful, but quite hopeful as well.
Look at his fucked mustache.
I love his mustache. I don't know how this became a main feature of Don Quixote, is that he has this extremely long, wiry mustache, but I'm a big fan.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, it's... I don't know. Who can say? Like, it's in the Gustave Doré, it's in the J.J. Granville, but it might be older than that still. Numbers for this?
Chivalry. Hard to say, I feel like, on this one for chivalry.
It can't be too
I feel like
high.
he strikes a very, like... He strikes a strong figure as, like, despite my many afflictions, I still will fight on.
Right. Uh-huh. No, I agree. You know, he may be bruised and battered, but he's still slowly walking across the Spanish countryside.
He's not wearing enough cloth of gold to be, like, properly chivalric. Even if this is sort of a more accurate, although we'll get to that in a second, more accurate representation of what Don Quixote really would look like gallivanting around the Spanish countryside. He's not exactly he's not exactly the very model of a modern major general.
Yes, certainly.
I'm not sure what number this is.
Uh-huh.
It's like
a 3 or a 2?
Yeah, maybe a 3?
Yeah. That feels
probably
right.
A 3.
A 3. A 3 for chivalry. Okay.
3 for shriveled. Accuracy is... since we're just talking about Don Quixote and none of the other pieces of this image is a 6.
Uh-huh.
This is the most accurate Don Quixote.
Not the orc that's pursuing him.
Not the orc that's pursuing him, not his beautiful horse. Just Don Quixote with a head wound, a wooden stick, a symbol, like he's, again, one of those guys from Hollow Knight Silk Song that uses symbols as shields.
Uh-huh.
A single piece of plate mail.
Uh-huh. He does have his feet in the stirrups, but he is like...
He does have his feet in the stirrups.
He is posed like fucking crazy on this horse. Yeah, this was my feeling as well. I had to include this one, because I'm like, I look at this and I'm like, that's fucking Don. I know nothing about this movie, except that it was the first Don Quixote adaptation that was in both widescreen and color. But I do look at this poster and I'm like, first of all, damn. Second of all, that's fucking Don Quixote. That's Don Quixote to the Don Quixote.
Don Quixote, the Lord of La Mancha.
That's Don Quixote to the Don Quixote casuals. That's Don Quixote to the Don Quixote diehards. That's Don Quixote.
That's Alonso Quijana.
That's Alonso Quijana. Proverb. I almost forgot again.
Kinsey scale.
Kinsey scale. Sorry, my mistake.
You got too excited about not forgetting about one thing.
I did.
And you were like, this Don Quixote transcends sexuality.
Someone should make a proverb about this.
This Don Quixote is pretty gay, just because thin and wiry men have sort of a gay, gayness about them.
He's kind of like holding his lance in sort of like a faggy little wraparound.
He really is.
I can't make the subtitle for this episode a faggy little wraparound. Unfortunately. The censors are gonna kill us.
The censors are gonna kill us. You can make it pursued by orcs. Exit pursued by orcs.
I'll figure it out. It'll probably be the best of our proverbs.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and he's like, he's just kind of like got the vibe of like an older gay man you would meet at the club, who's mostly just sort of there to sort of awkwardly vibe.
Yeah, I think this is like at least a 5, if not a 6. But maybe just a 6.
It could be a 6. That's fine with me.
6. Proverb.
The most homosexual Don Quixote is also the most accurate. Really makes you think. I found a place to go off on this tangent. I do kind of have feelings about Don Quixote's sexuality. That he's either very straight or very gay.
Not bisexual.
Sorry for my erasure, but I don't believe in bisexual Don Quixote. He either like genuinely is into women, or he's like into the men from his stories, and he like
who are really into women.
Yeah, exactly. And so he emulates them because he has complex feelings about them. This is my thoughts. Anyway, proverb. I feel like it has to be something about being hurt. He's very hurt. He has a head wound. His shield is cracked. That to me is the sort of like notable thing about this one.
In injury, use a long stick. Like, speak softly and carry a big stick, but instead it's in injury, use a long stick.
How about the injured man should wield a long stick?
There you go. The injured man should wield a long stick.
And this proverb means that, like, when you're injured, you don't want to put yourself in too much danger or you'll get more injured, so you should use a long stick to keep your distance.
Just use a long stick. This proverb means that when you're at low health, even though it's tempting to go for the hits to get your silk back regen, you need to be using your tools to get the stagger.
Yeah, and obviously you have polyp poison equipped because it's really good.
You have polyp poison equipped because obviously.
Obviously.
And that's going to help make sure that you can get through one phase without having to get real close.
Great. I clicked on the wrong Discord conversation and forgot that I had earlier sent Harry the anime girl being bad at eating gif. Studlocked me briefly.
Is that like the kitten who gets stuck in all the milk?
I'll
Do you
send
know
it
what
to
I'm
you
talking
later.
about?
No, but I shouldn't have gotten this distracted. Where I have a color one and a black and white one, and I want the color one to be the one you put up on the Tumblr. Okay, Ash. This image, I just for fun, I want you to guess the artist, who is an artist you know. I'm not saying that to be like, like a mid-century, famous artist that you know. Wow, hang on. I'm seeing this gif of the kitten in the milk bowl, and I need to send you the
really
bad at eating
countenance.
gif.
I thought you might want to know.
They're very similar. The anime
Right?
girl being bad at anyway, sorry, we're way off topic. Anyway, this is the Don Quixote. Which famous mid-century artist do you think that this is by? And also what medium do you think it is?
Well, this looks like... It looks like ink and watercolor.
That's sort of correct.
Although it's ink and something, certainly. And I'm tempted to just sort of go with like the first surrealist artist I can name, which would be like Dali.
Correct.
Who's also Spanish, so it makes sense.
This is I mean he's made a couple, but this is Salvador Dali's Don Quixote, which is actually this one is over, I think, a watercolor painting. But this is actually a lithograph. I'll send you the black and white lithograph also, because it has like the black and white has a particular energy, although I think this picture is a bit zoomed in also. Anyway, this Salvador Dali Don Quixote is from like ... question mark. It's from what we could find out, the original lithograph seems to have been created in 1957 ? But like official prints of it, some of them like also painted, and some of them just black and white he seemed to have been making them until about the mid 1960s. I think this print might be from 1966, but don't quote me on that, the color one. Anyway, I love this image. This is another one that is like, I saw this and I was like, whoa, I love this image.
It is really good.
Thing to draw your attention to. Oh, you can finish.
Oh, I was going to say something stupid. You should carry on.
Thing to draw your attention to, the tiny Sancho Panza in the bottom left.
I know!
I don't know why he's so small. I don't know who this other guy in the background is, but like...
Someone is about to hurl his spear from a distance and then be parried.
Uh-huh.
I am obsessed with the, like, I mean, I love a Dali. I was gonna say, you know this about me. This isn't true. I just love a Dali. I love art. But I'm obsessed with the, like, the simultaneous, like, artfulness and also childishness of this particular print. The sun that's just coming out of the corner is quite good. All of these sketchy little flowers, but also the perspective lined, like, you know, it looks like fields, but it might just be, you know, just perspective lined ground to the horizon.
Uh-huh.
All of the, like, you know, little bits of this in the surrealist style, which just get mixed up into whatever thing seems closest visually or similarly to them. I'm very fond of this from the surrealist. The surrealist playbook is just to be like, oh, a horse's tail? It's a tornado!
It's a wee 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 wee. I will say that this now that you've sort of pointed it out and I'm looking at it more, it does have a kind of sort of like stage play and backdrop kind of feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just like he's on a flat stage. There's a clear like foreground and background. With like little objects in the midground. I will say, we've seen some good Rocinantes. This Rocinante is crazy. Look at the legs. Look at them like crossing over each other. Look at his tiny head.
Yeah, the legs that are wrong is quite good. The front leg that's in the back and the back leg that's in the front. The tiny little face, like. It's very... Listen, I think that this horse is quite handsome for a like, surrealist, stretched-out horse. But I particularly appreciate the elongated legs, like stilts, just because that's the boniest part of the horse, so you have to emphasize it as much as possible.
Yeah. It's the boniest and the least balanced part of the horse.
On stilts.
Yeah. And I just like I do genuinely really like Don Quixote himself. There's just like there's so much detail in this image and just like a lot of first of all he has the barber thing. He has the golden helmet of Membrino like explicitly on him. But he's also just this sort of like weird fucked like tornado of flesh. You can like see his spine. It really wants you to see his spine, which is crazy. And then his lance that like pierces the heavens.
It's like I think that, you know, this Don Quixote might be a little bit too like generally hype to be a particularly good Don Quixote. It doesn't mean I don't think it rules, but it is like my lance that pierces the heavens, my horse that walks like some kind of fucking Star Wars AT-AT across the fields, my sword or something that I spin around in a circle.
I think it's a shield?
My 6 shades.
Wait, he does kind of have shades in the colored one. Where's he got shades?
My 6 shades.
His big pauldrons are also like really, really, really eye-catching.
It's a little grandiose, but I don't mind it.
I do just like... I love his grandiosity, like, on the stage, and just next to the tiny Sancho. Just so small. The tiniest little Sancho.
Like, he's far away, but I like to imagine that if you enlarged him, you'd only get about, like, twice as big.
Anyway, I just think that this image...
It just rocks, because we love Salvador Dali.
Yeah, I love the lines of the reins, like, flying across the image. It's just, like, a good painting. And by painting, I mean lithograph, but also painting.
And by painting, I mean lithograph.
Anyway.
I should have known it was a print, because it has the 25 out of 300 in the bottom.
Yeah, the other one I sent you, the black and white one, actually seems to be a slightly different... It appears to be a different print. It's got like different detailing, even ignoring the paints.
That makes sense, all things being considered.
So there's probably a bunch of different versions of this lithograph that all have a bunch of different prints, and all of those come from different times, and so it's impossible to date.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
printmaking, baby. Printmaking is fucking miserable to date and accession and everything. I would know. Chivalry.
Chivalry.
Now, it's a very grandiose image.
As you can
I
imagine.
don't actually know that it's that chivalric.
Uh-huh.
It's like, at this point, I don't know. I don't even know if that he's a wandering knight roaming the land. He doesn't really have anything resembling a weapon. Even his lance that pierces the heavens is but the long stick that an injured man might wield. It's like he's more just like, you know, the cultural image of Don Quixote, you know, slightly replaced in about 6 different ways. Until it's still recognizable, but something fundamentally different. You know, like surrealism?
What?
Does anyone know about this?
Uh-huh. He is like... Man, sorry, I get lost in his eyes. I keep getting distracted by little details
Get lost in his shades.
of his image. Like the fact that his lance is on like our side of the horse, even though it's being held in his far hand, meaning that he's twisted like so insanely to the side. Anyway, he does have a big shield. But you're right, he is kind of farmer core. This hat is like, God, I can't believe I don't remember what the thing is. It's a barber something. It's the thing that the barber puts in front of your face when they cut your hair. They catch the hair. It's like it's shaped like that, but it does kind of make him look like a farmer. To me, he's just got like a sun hat on.
Yeah, he's very farmer core. So I don't know if this image is that chivalric, all things considered.
Uh-huh.
I might be tempted to put it very sub-chivalric, like a 1.
I think a 1 is fine.
Accuracy.
Accuracy.
Hard to quite determine here, given that, like, accuracy to the perfect Don Quixote inside my mind has now been warped by the cultural Don Quixote that wields a very long stick, rides on a very tall horse, and has a big shield. This does get points for the golden helm of Membrino, though, for sure.
Uh-huh.
You can't just not give it points for being the golden helm of Membrino.
He's also just like, there's so much fundamental, like, instability to everything going on with him in this.
He's about to fall off.
He's about to fall off. He's in a fucked pose, but he, like, is trying to hit like a triumphant sort of thing.
Even this big diagonal line of his lance that pierces the heavens is really like,
it's kind of awkward, right?
It's not quite the right line for the composition. It's about balanced with one of Rocinante's legs, but like the rest of Rocinante's legs don't like it.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, I think that you have to give this one sub-accurate just because of what it is. Even if the spirit of the thing is similar, it's like, I've been judging the rest of these based on how much they're accurate to the book that this is. And this is not. But I think I will give it a 2. More than incidentally accurate, given the golden helm of Membrino.
Okay. Alright. Fair enough. And Kinsey.
Kinsey.
Uh-huh.
Kind of straight. I don't know why.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's not that Dolly is a particularly straight artist.
Uh-huh.
This Don Quixote just strikes me as kind of straight. Not zero straight.
Uh-huh.
but like sub-Kinsey, you know?
Uh-huh. We exist in such a mythical realm, you and I. Okay.
Am I crazy, or...
No, I can see where you're coming from. He's very kind of like, he's very pointy. He's got sort of an aggressive quality to his sort of, his scribbliness and his sort of like, his horrible cyberpunk, spine. And so I can see where you're coming from. If you think about this hat as like a sun hat, that's pretty gay. But if you just think of it as like a sombrero, then that's sort of normal.
Mm-hmm.
He's just sort of, he could be just like, you know, a drunk guy on a horse.
Sort of a one.
Yeah, sort of a one situation.
Sort of a 1-2-1, not a measure of quality.
Uh-huh. Great. And proverb.
Something about the wind.
Wind, clouds, sun, shield is really prominent in this.
A good hat will keep both the wind and sun from your eyes.
Hang on. Can I modify?
Mm-hmm.
A good hat might catch the wind as much as it catches the sun.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like, you know, it's like sometimes things, they're good, but like sometimes the fact that they're good means
that they'll fly away and you'll have to chase after them like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that. This is so true, honestly.
Mm-hmm, and this is true.
And this is so true. This is just true to life. Okay. Now, if I have my order correctly, now we enter the era of these are all images that you recognize. Are you ready for the first one?
Okay.
I need to pull it up. Hang on, no. There we go. Whoa!
I, Don Quixote, the Lord of La Mancha.
I could not find this fucking poster in higher quality, but this is the only Man of La Mancha poster that I wanted, because it's the only one that wasn't like just their faces. This one has actual like guys.
This one is art, yeah.
This one is art. And it's
I'm
art
obsessed with the tiny knights.
It's art by Ted Kokonis, by the way.
it's very good too.
Yeah, right? It's just like a really nice, it's such a classic like 70s movie poster composition. It's like
there's an Rocinante in
gold.
this one, it's just Dapple.
Yeah, Dapple, by the way, who looks insane. Look at his fucking eyes! Why did they give him eyes like that? He's gonna kill you. The tiny knights are really good. I don't know what's up with that.
What is their deal?
They're just hanging out, I guess.
I'm very fond of it.
Yeah.
I think I'm the least fond of the diptych of, Peter O'Toole and Sophia Loren, as Don Quixote and Dulcinea looking soulfully off into the distance. It's like, okay, shut up.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't...
This ain't about you.
That's why had to use this poster, even though I couldn't find it on a higher resolution, is because every other poster for this movie is just them looking off into the
Shut up! No!
Yeah,
this
I know,
middle bit is so nice! I love how it's full of little little rondels, little circles. It's just like, yeah, man.
I will say,
it's sort of dreamlike and scary.
I do really like the, I think the costume design in Man of La Mancha, the movie, is generally pretty good. And this Don Quixote really executes on it. The thread coming off of his sleeves is really good. He's got this sort of like weird glass-eyed look. He's of course got his sort of iconic movie like bendy sword. Dulcinea is kind of scary. I like her pose and her energy, but she her boobs are perfect spheres. Two,
which is sort of true in the movie, to be fair.
Yeah, fair enough. Two, she does become a ghost.
Ooh,
spooky windmill ghost.
She's a spooky windmill ghost.
Sometimes...
Everyone in this image is a spooky something ghost. But she has a white dress on, so it's more prominent. I won't talk about Man of La Mancha forever. I'm still mad that Dulcinea is real and in it.
We watched Man of La Mancha the night before Canto 7 dropped, and largely didn't like it. I don't think it's very good.
Just didn't like it.
Again, I like Man of La Mancha. I'm going to talk a little bit about Man of La Mancha. Don Quixote
Man of La Mancha
is in part about Miguel de Cervantes and him doing weird stuff with the book that you're reading. And in Don Quixote, Miguel de Cervantes is an antagonist of the reader. He's doing his best, but secretly he doesn't like you. And the fact that Man of La Mancha is just so literally the opposite of this makes me so mad. Anyway, it's my little I like Don Quixote rant for this section. But this poster is really nice. It's just if you're a fan of this particular composition of 70s poster, it's not a very hard composition to hit, honestly. But it's always a little bit pleasing to the eye, I think. I like the way the windmill points you across the composition, And I like gold. Don Quixote here. He's really got the best aspects of that movie's Don Quixote. Look at his weird toothy half grin. What's going on with him? Why is he like that?
I don't know. God bless. Chivalry. Well, listen, Man of La Mancha is an incredibly chivalrous movie. Because there's literally a damsel. In it to save.
There she is. There's the damsel.
And there's a whole sequence in which they're like, Don Quixote, no, don't be at the end of book 2. Carry on. Be Don Quixote. Don Quixote. Don Quixote. That's how Man of La Mancha ends, in case you didn't know. And then Dulcinea and Sancho go riding off into the sunset, going, I, Don Quixote, the Lord of La Mancha, while Don Quixote dies on his bed. That's how it goes, in case you didn't know. It's rated PG. Good for them. That feels bold, given sort of the wenchiness.
Yeah, that feels bold, considering they say the word whore 20 times.
Whore is PG.
Sure.
But he's raising his sword up, as many of these images do. And he's got his squire and he's got his damsel. It's very chivalric, which is one of my issues with Man of La Mancha, but cannot be denied. I think the thing which if there's, I don't know, is there a thing that makes this not a 6?
don't know. He's like kind of falling apart, and like not even in a particularly suffering way. Like his armor is falling off of him. His sword is undeniably fucked. He is in gold, to be fair. I would
that's
probably
bad.
give him a 5, but like
I think a 5 is reasonable.
Accuracy.
Accuracy.
How much is this Don Quixote in this poster, to be fair?
In
like
this poster.
The book Don Quixote.
I think that, honestly, the, like, costumed portrayal of Don Quixote in Man of La Mancha, as depicted in this poster, but also just in general, is, like, a great Don Quixote. Peter O'Toole is just sort of great, and I like him. I like to see him. But he's also great with a nose prosthetic. It's super graying hair. He's just sort of, he's very much a horrible little freak here. His clothes are falling apart, his armor is falling apart, his sword is visibly bent and shitty. That's Don Quixote, baby. This Sancho is honestly less accurate than this Don Quixote. He has a feathered cap. When did he ever fucking have a feathered cap? Scary dapple. Fortunately, Rocinante is not included in our evaluation, famously, or else I would have to take off points for him not having a horse. But nope. He's a very accurate Don Quixote. This might be also a 6. In my estimation.
I think that's fair. Visually, he's very Don Quixote. And Kinsey.
In fairness, Don Quixote at the end of Man of La Mancha is like, no, it's a bad idea to be Don Quixote. And it's like, yeah, man. True. It's just nobody else seems to get the message.
Kinsey
scale number. Peter O'Toole is gay. I shouldn't say that.
Is Peter O'Toole gay?
I am almost certain the answer is no.
Is Peter O'Toole
no
gay? No, don't open the page's code.
Listen, Peter O'Toole is gay because everything I've ever seen him in, he's gay in it. In this movie, in Lawrence of Arabia, it's like he's gay. He's super gay. In Lawrence of Arabia, especially. But he has 3 children and is married to a woman, which is not a requirement for not being gay, but you know how it is.
I will say there is a woman in this poster.
There's a woman in this poster and is real. I should get over my personal feelings about Peter O'Toole in Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah,
and just talk about the
to what we're
poster.
doing almost entirely in many ways.
This is a straight poster. There's absolutely no relationship with Sancho. He and Dulcinea he's visibly pining for Dulcinea, even if Dulcinea doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, they've got the big Star Wars background heads that are sort of gazing implicitly at each other.
Heads. I can't handle it.
That's what it is. That's just how all the posters from the 70s
It is.
look
I
like.
can't handle that it is that. Anyway. So, like, at most, he's a 1 for just sort of having kind of a homosexual affectation.
Aura.
Yeah.
A homosexual
aura.
I'm fine with a 1. It's a very straight poster.
It's a very straight poster, but please keep in mind, you can quote me on this, Peter O'Toole, who's still alive, is gay.
You should go say that to his face. Don't do that.
Maybe.
I mean, you can do what you want.
You can do whatever you want.
Great. Proverb.
Something about strings, tapestry, cloth,
women. Strings is interesting. And maybe that's just because it makes me think about Silk Song. He looks a little bit like a Silksong enemy that I don't think
When
you've seen yet.
when surrounded by enemies, use Threadstorm.
Uh,
A lady's guitar will have only 5 strings.
Shut the fuck up. That's because their tiny lady hands can't reach the 6.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the meaning of the proverb is. The lady's guitar will have only 5 strings, but she may play it by the close of the 5th act.
I'm just gonna say a proverb if you keep fucking around.
That was serious.
Wait, your suggestion is a lady's guitarist only has 5 strings?
Yeah.
But there's not a guitar in this image.
I can iterate.
Okay, fine. Sexist Sancho proverb. A lady's guitar has only 5 strings.
Listen, her guitar.
Question mark? I went, but I don't really know what that means.
Send me a Tumblr ask that will get you banned from the website about which part of the woman is the guitar with only 5 strings.
A lady's guitar has only 5 strings. This is the name of my new NSFW Silksong fanfic.
Is that how many strings are on the needle? How many strings does a mandolin have? You should move on.
I'm moving on. What the fuck was the next one? Okay, here we go. So I don't have an artist for this specific image before.
A mandolin has 4 to 12 strings.
Well, not if it's being played by a lady. In that case, it's got 5.
Specifically.
So you know this one. This is a piece of promotional art for the Don Quixote children's anime. I don't have it in front of me. Kuoke Night.
What is it? Yeah, Zukoke Night.
Zukoke Night, that's what it was. Fun fact about Zukoke Night. It was re-released in Italian only.
Oh my god.
But the original Japanese anime is largely considered to be lost media.
Whoa.
It was not preserved, and they just the people just don't know where it is if it still exists. There's a couple copies of it, but it's from 1980.
Damn.
Zukoke Night, directed by Kunihiko Yuyama. I don't know this piece of art is probably just by someone on the animation team. Your thoughts?
I Don Zukoke, the Lord of the Anime.
Uh-huh.
I ride on my horse, and Sancho is also there. I am quite fond of the
I don't
Sancho.
know why Sancho has a tanuki suit.
Yeah, Sancho is a tanuki
suit. He is a tanuki. He's got the stripes. He's got the tanuki stripes. I don't know if he's supposed to be a tanuki. Uh-huh.
I love Dapple and Rocinante. They both look stupid in their appropriate ways. Rocinante is very happy to be here, but I think that's just because, they're in a children's anime.
Look at the donkey's weird chubby legs.
I know.
What's going on?
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this donut around Dapple's neck?
I recognize
a friend of mine who isn't going to listen to this podcast is getting a new kitten soon. and sent pictures of that kitten to be like, what should this kitten's name be? And in all of the pictures, the kitten has a big rubber ring around its neck for unknown reasons, and so everyone who's seen it has suggested that its name should be Donut. And that's how I feel about this Dapple.
I feel I've seen this thing, like, on a donkey before, but I don't know enough about it to look up what it is. It's just like
a
some
bad
sort of...
life preserver.
Yeah, in case he falls in the water.
Death preserver.
Anyway, it's a very charming art style. It's so, like, 80s children's anime.
It is. I'm very fond of this Sancho and Dapple, especially. But I don't hate this Don Quixote, even though I think it's pretty poisoned by previous, like, Don's Quixote of the past. It's got the big, like, disc pauldrons, and, you know, full armor. I'm not, maybe this is just because I've seen too many, you know, very similar images of Don Quixote. I'm not huge on the big nose situation. But, like,
yeah. People
I don't
love
know.
to
He's
give
got
him a big
the
nose.
mustache, kinda.
He does. I don't like... There's a bunch of stuff in the visual design of this Don Quixote that is just, like, so arbitrary to me. I don't know why he has, like, a little sort of, like, sci-fi receiver cap that has little wings on it, like he's a Valkyrie. I don't know what's up with that. I do love how much his arms are just sticks.
Yeah.
His arms are just, like, cylinders. Not even.
They're
like
traversing the featureless gray desert in this image.
Yeah, they're traversing, like, the initial background paint of a matte painting. They hadn't added all the details.
Yeah, it's like they haven't quite finished the cell yet. They've just got the cells over it, and so the background painting hasn't been done.
I do like Sancho, like, throwing really shitty confetti.
I know. I really like
white.
it.
I guess it's supposed to be like gold and silver. It's
and also
like
red and black.
I've seen a little bit of this anime. Sancho is pretty, like, exasperated with Don Quixote most of the time. But, like, it does, like, gives it a nice energy, gives it a nice composition. I like how everything sort of points up at Don Quixote, who is just also kind of, like, really fucked. Everything sort of, like, follows the lines of, like, Don Quixote's cross eyes. It's fun. It's a fun little composition.
Everyone cross-eyed and looking up. It's kind of scaring me.
It is. Dapple's big tooth.
Yeah.
Attack tooth.
Anyway. For 600 yen, you can have whatever this is.
For 600 yen, you can have the soundtrack?
Maybe.
It says stereo in the top right.
And it just goes,
record?
I, Don Quixote. Over and over again.
Anyway,
chivalry.
The Italian, by the way, the Italian sort of adaptation, what's the word? The Italian dub of this anime is all up on YouTube, and so is one Japanese episode, which is an episode in which they fight a vampire. I think they fight Dracula specifically. And so if you're curious about this, you can go watch it. I've only seen, like, little bits, doing a little bit of research. Anyway, chivalry.
Not a particularly chivalrous image, given that Don Quixote is, like, having a great time and Sancho is showering him in confetti, and his lance is just sort of on his shoulder, and he's like, oh boy.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy, howdy.
He does, like, have a lance and a shield, and he is wearing armor, but also, like, if he got into a fight right now, he would lose before the fight even started.
I think the fact that he has, like, a shield and a lance and armor feels like he got it from the costume shop on Halloween.
He does look like he's dressed like his favorite early Final Fantasy character.
So, you know.
Yeah, fair enough. Is he chivalrous at all?
I mean, he's on a horse with his lance. It's just like at least a 1. Sure. I think he's just incidentally chivalrous due to being dressed as a knight and being on a horse. Accuracy. He's just having some fun out in the featureless desert. Accuracy he's very hale and hearty, I fear, to be a Don Quixote. He's uninjured. He's being celebrated by Sancho, who of course celebrates him just without any caveats at all times. And, you know, he's fully equipped with brightly colored gear. His Rocinante is also having a great time, but this ain't about him. And it's like, you know, even his sort of bearing of being like an errant knight, that's like, you know, I'm not doing a great job at being a knight, still feels very much like, I don't know, if you didn't tell me, if you were like, this is a children's anime about a pair of heroes going to save the world, I'd be like, yeah, okay. I can see it. He's just sort of like, maybe also a 1, just like incidentally Don Quixote. His horse is kind of lanky. He kind of has a mustache.
He's got sticky limbs. He has this sort
He's kind of tilting.
He's got this sort of goofy self-assuredness. I'm comfortable with a 1. And then Kinsey. It's really hard for me to look at this art style and not feel like it looks gay.
It's gay. I just don't feel particularly strongly about it. Like, it just is gay. It's like a 4. It's like more than incidentally heterosexual. But like, it is gay.
But people. But it is gay.
It is gay.
It is gay. Okay, and then proverb. The confetti is the main thing here that is sort of like happening in this image.
But confetti, you can't say confetti in a in a such
it is
a proverb, I feel like.
Proverb, yeah. But like, you know,
I feel something about celebration, like raining. I have one, but it doesn't sound good.
You could sort of metaphorize it and be like raining praise down upon.
When delivering praise, it is better to have a heavy rain than a light shower.
I can tweak your phrasing, I think, but I like it. No, I'm not gonna try. I've given up.
Okay. Next.
A rain of praise falls best as a heavy shower. something like that. But that
Something
might be
like
too. Anyway, next, continuing with images that you recognize, possibly. Can you tell me what this is from? Wait, where is it? I really should have gotten these together better. I just didn't realize you couldn't copy images from a Google Doc.
Oh my god. I think I know what this is from.
Uh-huh. Would you like to say it?
No. Is it from Fate?
Yeah, it's from Fate, Grand Order.
Yeah, I can immediately tell that's from Fate. Ugh.
Now,
because Fate doesn't have a consistent art style, but neither does this image.
Now, here's the real question. And if you can get this in one, I don't know, I'll give you $100. That's how confident I am. You're not gonna get it in one.
Okay.
Who is the person in the back?
Now, my deep feeling that I immediately had, even though it feels insane to say, is that beautiful woman Rocinante?
Wrong. Sort of. A quote from the Type Moon Wiki.
Ugh.
The woman accompanying him is Sancho Panza, a fusion of Don Quixote's squire Sancho Panza, his horse Rocinante, Altisidora the prankster girl, and his imaginary princess Dulcinea de Toboso.
That's crazy.
So it's Sancho and Rocinante and
hello.
Altisidora, who's
me.
the lady in waiting of the Duchess, and Dulcinea.
It's me, bisexual Sancho Panza. Canonically bisexual Sancho Panza.
And so they took
Sancho Panza.
They took Sancho and then they made him an musume, and then they made that person a girl by mixing them with Dulcinea.
All musume are women, so note that down.
Note that down. And a character from my favorite part of the book that nobody's read.
I hate Fate so much.
It's just like, even something so normal, which is like, you have a guy in your game who's Don Quixote. Normal. They have to find a way to make it weird. They have to be like, okay, but he's accompanied by a guy who's his squire and his horse
Why
and
is
his
Sancho
woman.
the tall one and Don Quixote's a tiny dwarf?
Yeah, let's move to talking about this Don Quixote.
Oof.
How does one feel about him?
Oof. It's rough out here. Why is he a dwarf?
Would you like to see his alternative outfit?
No, but you're gonna show it to me anyway.
It's this. This is actually the golden one is actually his first image. That's what I should have showed you, maybe. I don't know why he has a fucking bird on his head. Why's he got a bird on his head?
Sancho Panza made? Help. Now, the gold one makes him look more like Don Quixote, I feel like, just because he's more impractical.
Fascinating. Even though in
even
the
if
other
the
one
iron
more
one is much
battered.
more like battle worn, yeah. It's like he looks too much like a real foot soldier in that, whereas in the gold armor, it's like, oh, you're a poser.
Fair enough. Dulcinea, or I guess she's just named Sancho, even though she is this weird matchup.
Sancho Panza.
Changes outfits. Anyway.
To a maid. This is what I was saying.
Yeah, I don't know why she becomes a maid.
It's so over.
It's
God,
so
I hate
over.
these games. It's like crazy how much this just sort of like sucks all joy from my heart.
Look at his freakish lizard eyes.
I know, I've
Have you
looked at
noticed
them.
Why has he got freakish lizard eyes?
In his gold image, he gets more self-satisfied and thus more lizard-like. Why is he short and fat? I can't handle it. Why have they done this? It's not right. It's not good. I don't know. That's scary. I don't know. You can't. It's not right.
I don't really have that much to say about this image. It's just kind of like, it's just kind of drawn in sort of gotcha art style, which I know I should say more about because that's sort of our thing. But like, you know what I mean. It's just kind of like an anime illustrated image of a little guy in a knight suit. Why is his lance in the gold one so like imbued? It's a big crystal.
Oh, it's full of ether.
Oh, it's full of ether. I see. I genuinely don't know if this is a thing from Fate. That's what Fate does from you. Is you could say anything is from Fate, and I'd be like, that sounds right.
It's his oh god, now I can't remember any of the shit from Fate anymore because I got better. So it doesn't matter.
Fate is inescapable on this podcast.
I don't know.
I just like,
they took a thing that should be so easy and they were like, no.
Well, I think a lot of people actually do this, I think. A lot of people are sort of making casual interpretations of Don Quixote from just sort of like the pop culture concept of Don Quixote, because he's like a weird little gremlin, right? And in like the modern like social conception of like what guys look like, being a weird little gremlin is being like small and round, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Don Quixote and Silk Song, as referenced, is this. He's small and he's round.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I can't.
I mean, we can just move on to numbers.
Probably to the depths of despair for nothing but your own enjoyment.
Yay! Woo!
Why?
just the mere thought of Fate and Grand Order, it just like decimates Ash.
Just
There's nothing
ends
left.
me. It's over. Chivalry. He looks more like a real knight in this picture than most pictures of Don Quixote. He looks like he would faithfully defend this helpless young woman who is, I would like to reiterate, Rocinante, Sancho Panza, etc. However, he doesn't have he doesn't have sort of the courtly bearing of a good knight, of a good chivalric knight. He's not like, he doesn't have a sword at his hip and like the sort of like elegance and extravagance of a chivalric knight. I can't quite express what I mean by this. He doesn't have splendor. He doesn't have Aristotelian splendor.
He's not equipped like a knight of romance. He's equipped like a Final Fantasy.
He's equipped like a foot
MMO
soldier
character.
He's equipped like he's the guard at the gates. And so like it is chivalric, maybe a 4, more than incidentally unchivalric.
Accuracy,
0, and I hope he dies. It's not a measure of quality, but there's nothing. There's nothing. He's too serious, he's short, he's fat, he's like he's extremely stern. He has no sense of whimsy. Whether battle-worn or in gold armor, it's like, this is unrecognizable to me, other than the fact that he has a big lance, which fucking, he's been guarding the palace gates for 15 years.
So I'm looking at the Fate wiki to see if he's a lancer.
When you said you would give me $100, I thought you were gonna ask me what his class was, and I would have to guess between things that weren't lancer. He's a berserker. I don't know that.
He's a lancer.
He's probably a lancer. Kinsey scale number. X, he's a lizard.
Lizards famously don't have sexuality.
He reproduces asexually.
I see. He simply sort of spawns from the walls of caves.
I mean, that's what it's like to be a heroic spirit from Fate.
I suppose so.
I'm trying to remember a term from Fate, but I should stop trying.
Imagine becoming a fighter jet.
He literally doesn't have, like... I mean, we interpret the Kinsey rating extremely loosely anyway. But he quite literally is, like, just sort of the idea of a heroic spirit from legend and myth. Badly represented by an musume and a foot soldier. So, like, lots of characters in Fate have relations. I don't think he does. He's a lizard.
I think Uma Musume Sancho might have relations. I think she can get it.
I don't think he's interested.
I don't think he's interested. I just think that she can get it. Like,
she can probably get it.
Yeah. Anyway,
but this ain't about her. Proverb, something about a horse. A good horse should be as faithful to you as a good wife. Moving on.
Moving on. Alright, the final one from a very, very recent adaptation of Don Quixote. Just gonna send this to you. No further commentary.
I knew that was what you were gonna send me. I was like, and then the last one is going to be Don Quixote from Limbus Company. But which one? Make sure you're looking at the Tumblr.
This is from a sort of a small indie gacha game called Limbus Company. I don't know if you've heard of it. But in it, this is Don Quixote. And fun fact, he's a vampire.
What the fuck?
I know, right? It's crazy.
That's a weird choice for the adaptation, but like...
I know, right?
I guess. I have more respect for things that aren't Fate than I do for Fate, so I mean, let him cook, I guess. This is alternate universe Ash that doesn't care about Limbus Company.
Yeah, no, I would kind of like us to evaluate this image on its sort of like inherent, on its sort of devoid of context merits.
Now, here's the thing. He's very bishy.
He's so bishy.
He's crazy bishy. Which I know is because he's like 1,000-year-old vampire. And when you have 1,000-year-old vampire, it is natural for you to be like, and he has a perfect face.
Every 100
because
years.
Because it does not age.
Every 100 years, a vampire becomes a little bit more bishy.
He needed a long time to cook in there. His, like, he's got winged eyeliner, like, it's over for him.
He does have a way. His eyeliner's so spiky. Hang on.
I know. I appreciate the details of him that make him less, like, conventionally attractive vampire man. Like, his extremely oversized coat, which is very Don Quixote of him to be wearing.
I do love his massive fucking coat.
Like,
His
does it
massive
look
fucking
good on
coat
him?
is good.
No. It looks stupid. Do I even think it's a good character design decision? Not really. It looks stupid. Does it make him Don Quixote? Abso-fucking-lutely. His extremely disheveled white hair also adds to it. Is like, what is your deal?
Yeah, his whole design is sort of based around the concept of sort of things hanging limply off of him. He's got all these, like, tassels that are hanging limply in this big coat, and his sort of puffy pants that sort of droop at the bottom. He's just kind of like, blah.
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 Blah. I think his, like, I think his actual, like, shape language and character design and all these things is better when he's wearing the golden helm of Membrino, generally speaking. When he's, like, fucked and withering to death and covered in his spiked crown, that's a better Don Quixote. But from this image alone, he's, like... If you showed him to me, I would not guess he was Don Quixote. Not even a little bit. If you showed, if you showed LCB Sinner Don Quixote to me, I could maybe get there. So, like, not to judge on a double standard, neither of the Dons Quixote and Limbus Company are, like, the most Don Quixote that's ever Don Quixoted.
This image is a little bit unfair. This is just like his talk sprite, right?
Mm-hmm. He's not posing or anything.
He
has much less, like, context than the previous images.
Yeah. There's not even really a good... There's not even a really good image of him, like, with a weapon, like, in a CG. This image of the three of them, him and Sancho and Barry hanging out in the hall, like, this image is a lot more Don Quixote. Although he also gets increasingly bishy in this image. Look at just, like, how, like, beautiful his hair becomes. He, like, I understand, like...
I haven't really looked at him in this image, because I'm always too busy looking at everybody else. But, like...
He's so pretty.
He's so pretty. Him, like, removing his arm with his little, like, doublet on it really only serves to increase it. And his side profile with his little smirk. It's like, holy shit, dude.
I get what they were going for in that, like, you know... He's gotta be a vampire lord. He looks the part of a vampire lord. And I think, like, for the art style and so on and so forth, like, he meets the criteria of Don Quixote of, like, he's tall and he's lank and he's, like, a bit of a weirdo. Oh, I didn't even send you a sprite in which he's smiling. That was unfair. He should be smiling.
That's true. You did send me his stoic, his stoic image.
Where's the one where he's got his cute little smile? Oh, and this one he's winking. Here we go. This is the one we should put on the Tumblr. He's doing a little wink. Look at him. And so, like,
yeah, his classic look.
And he can't be wearing not that, I mean, there's people in Limbus Company wearing armor, but he can't be wearing armor in part because he's a vampire and in part because it's the city. And so I get it, but it is like when you're used to, like, tiny, short, round Don Quixote who's secretly Sancho, and then the game is like, but this is the real Don Quixote. You're like, in comparison to the Don Quixote I thought was Don Quixote, you're correct. This is Don Quixote. But just on his own, he's not especially Don Quixote. And also I think his design is, like, fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like a perfectly acceptable guy. It's like a reasonably well put together design, but is not especially. It doesn't have any especially striking particular element.
In the specific context of Limbus Company, which isn't what we're evaluating right now, to be fair, he's like, I particularly appreciate that because everybody in the city wears a suit and tie, people who are not wearing a suit and tie look fucking stupid. And he looks fucking stupid by that measure. Uh-huh. Not only does his fancy clothes not really fit him, it also is totally like, just what is he doing? I also think that this would be a better Don Quixote. Obviously, you would represent himself as Don Quixote better if he was slightly armored or wearing, or had a lance. But he doesn't because he's a pacifist, so they can't do that. So it's like, God damn it. You've cheated yourself out of making him into Don Quixote by making him an immortal, bishy vampire lord and someone who can't be wielding weapons. So, yeah.
I think with the golden helmet of Membrino, it doesn't really turn him into Don Quixote. It just turns him into a blasphemous enemy.
It's specifically when he starts glowing and gets withered that I'm like, that's Don Quixote, baby.
Uh-huh.
But I think somebody should draw him in the classical Don Quixote outfit, golden helmet of Membrino, aka the barber's, basin on his head.
Basin! That's what it's called! That's the word I've been looking for all episode!
He needs a basin on his forehead. He needs a shitty broken lance. We all need to give up on him being a vampire lord and draw Limbus Company Don Quixote in proper style.
Yeah, I think part of the thing that makes his design sort of boring, because he's normal, and also less Don Quixote because he's normal, is because he's a little too coordinated. All his clothes fit like shit, but he does have a coordinated outfit instead of a bunch of cool shit that he picked up.
And it's like, damn it, he needs to be cool. And it's like, no, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
But he needs to be kind of cool because he's the head of the blood fiends of the district or whatever. But he really doesn't. And so it's if all of his clothes were visibly patched and shit, I'd be like, yeah, man.
He's the final boss, so he's gotta look cool. Sad.
He doesn't. He really doesn't.
Yeah.
Anyway,
numbers?
Chivalry. This is harder because he's not doing anything in these images.
No, he's got a little bit of chivalry to him, I think. Maybe. It's how much does he actually look? If you can't infer just from his red eyes, and you're just he's just an anime boy unless he has red eyes, that he's a vampire. How much does he actually look like he can fight? And how much does he look like he's just sort of a snooty nobleman?
I don't think he looks like he can fight. Partially because you can't see his hands. And so it's what is he gonna do? Wave his sleeves at me?
With his big
he's gonna be like those he's gonna be like those enemies in Hollow Knight in City of Tears that just run at you and go, whoa! I'm doing it with my hands, but you can't see, so it probably doesn't make any sense what I'm talking about.
I know what you mean.
Thank you. So he has a little bit of chivalry just because he seems like an upstanding dude. And he definitely has the courtier bedeckedness. But he's not carrying a sword, so he can't be that chivalrous.
Uh-huh.
Everybody has to carry a sword.
Uh-huh.
This is what people don't understand about the French, Burgundian, Italian, and Spanish courts of the Renaissance, is that everyone had to carry a sword.
Uh-huh.
Just because they can. So I don't know, that's a 3.
A 3? Wow.
That's high.
That's a big jump from what it sounded like you were describing. But he can't fight, but he looks nice. Does not to me sound like a 3.
That's high.
But if it's what your heart desires, I won't get.
I don't know. He very much is like a courtier.
Sure. Okay, a 3. Accuracy. I mean, we were just dunking on him for like 5 minutes.
The problem is that he doesn't look anything like Don Quixote, and if you told me, like, which fictional character do you think this guy is, I would be like, Dracula. Maybe. Maybe Dracula. I would be like, is that a weird... would that be weird fan art of Alucard? This is a Castlevania character. I would not go to Don Quixote at all. I do want to respect the artistic choices that are made in like attempts to make him more Don Quixote-y. But really it's just an artistic choice, and it's him having a big coat. So like at most it's a 1. I think maybe it's a 0.
I think it's probably a 0. Again, in context, he sort of works as Don Quixote, but he extremely needs to exist in context of, like, this other guy isn't Don Quixote. 6
2/3 preceding cantos, and, like... to be a mysterious silhouette for a while.
Yeah, of someone who doesn't look like Don Quixote being Don Quixote, so that a guy who looks slightly more like Don Quixote, you can be like, wow, he really does look like Don Quixote. But you've just been hornswoggled.
You have just been tricked by being like, oh, she's Don Quixote because her design is like, oh, she's short, so it doesn't seem like she should be impressive. You idiot!
You dumbass.
Kinsey scale number, he is honestly, like, despite his very, fagalicious sort of, like, bearing, he is textually quite straight. He is always telling Sancho, like, you know, you need to have children. When are you gonna give me grandkids? And it's like, father?
The image is definitely, like, guy hiding inside a big coat is sort of a classically sort of queer image to me.
He's very fagful. Like, I can't even just call him gay. Like, you'd have to call him slurs. I have nothing else to, like,
you have to call him slurs.
You, listener. Everyone say it with me.
The slurs?
Yeah. I love. Anyway. I was trying to do mommy time, and then I forgot, and I started chanting I love mommy, which isn't what you chant. It's faggy time. I don't know, 4, 5. He's at least incidentally straight, if not more than incidentally, so.
I could go with a 4.
4.
I'd be happy with a 4. Proverb on this Don Quixote. A big coat. There's a start.
A dashing garment should look dashing on any man.
A dashing garment would look dashing on any man?
A dashing garment would look dashing on any man.
I like that. And honestly, that's so true.
And you should remember this.
Yeah, you should remember this. It'll help you in life.
Remember, a dashing garment would look dashing on any man.
Great, and that's the episode. Thanks for participating, Ash.
Yay!
Did you have fun?
I can't wait to talk about Don Quixote.
Did you have fun?
I did have fun.
What was your favorite image?
My favorite image? Well, I know what my least favorite image was. My favorite image was it's probably between the Soviet movie poster and the dolly.
Yeah, I'm in the same space.
It's quite a good combo.
They're both so striking.
Mm-hmm.
Now
although you can't forget about Don Quixote battling the wineskins. It's a classic.
Now I do have a bonus image for you. We're not going to give it numbers or anything. It's going to be our little closer.
Okay.
Me and Emma found this, and I decided not to include it. Both so we'd we'd have a clean 10 images. And also because it's just not really a picture of Don Quixote. Like, Don Quixote is in it, but it's just not, it's so uninteresting as a picture of Don Quixote. However, it is interesting for some other reason. And I'm sending it to you now.
Why, hello there. Listen, we're not going to talk about this image for long because we have to close the episode. Classics Illustrated can go fuck itself.
Classics Illustrated is sort of classically bad.
Classics Illustrated is like...
Moby Dick is like nothing. I've read it.
Classics Illustrated is an enemy of the podcast.
Uh-huh.
You can pay 15 cents for this, and that's great and all, but like...
Uh-huh. I just like... This
Don't let them trick you.
This big face on the windmill is such a... It's just...
Hey...
It's just like it's so much.
My sparkling eyes. I'm ready for your attack.
Why is he great? Why is he a sheet that lies over top of the windmill? Like, what is going on? This is from 1947, by the way.
Classics Illustrated, featuring stories by the world's greatest authors, like me. And that's what I have to say about that one.
Uh-huh.
And the Kinsey scale number, I'll leave that as an exercise for the reader.
And that's the end of the episode.
Goodbye.
Oh, okay, bye. Go read Don Quixote.
Go read Don Quixote.
Also, stay tuned. We're doing season 2, episode 7 next week. Bye.